Can you guys believe we are officially in May? One step closer to summer, one step closer to vacations, beaches, camping trips, nights out, late nights out with the kids, ice cream runs, late night gaming nights, movies in the park. May is one of my favorite months. Next to March, next to fall and October. There's just so many things that one can do once the kids are out of school. So I'm super excited to wrap up my kids' school years with a bang and do all the fun things that summer brings. On that note, another thing that May is really awesome for is reading, more reading. Although May is quite busy for me, I still try to squeeze in as much reading as I can. So for my May TBR, I've kept it pretty last month. I kind of overshot my TBR, and that's okay. Sometimes you read more than other times. Life can throw you some curveballs, and it forces you to prioritize other things, and that's okay. That's part of being a reader, and it's being flexible with your time and being flexible with the things that you can and cannot do. So without further ado, my May TBR is going to start with, and I've already started this book, so I already know that it's going to be really, really good. And it might even be a 5-star read. Now Back to You by B.K. Borson. This book is so funny. If you're needing something that's just going to make you giggle out loud, definitely pick this book up. I wasn't a huge fan of First Time Caller. I thought it was nice. And I love the FMC, and I love the fact that she was a mechanic and just in a not very typical career for a woman, unfortunately. But I love that. I wasn't fully invested with the MMC. I feel like he was a bit emotionally constrained, and I just didn't see that connection. So it wasn't my favorite. I liked it, but it wasn't my favorite. But with this one, and Now Back to You, I feel like I'm more invested in these characters. I like the way that they're developing so far. We have Delilah, we have Jackson. They're two very different types of meteorologists, and they both have a passion for talking about the weather, and their background is very similar, although they are very different now as adults. So it says, two competing meteorologists are forced to find common ground in this opposites attract when Harry Met Sally inspired romance. Come on, Harry Met Sally, that's like one of the best rom-coms ever. I still love watching that. It's so funny. Meg Ryan did an excellent job in When Harry Met Sally. It says, Jackson Clark and Delilah Stewart have had their fair share of run-ins over the years, often ending in disaster. While Jackson thrives on routine and organization from the comfort of his radio booth, Delilah loves spontaneity and adventure out in the field. When they're partnered against their will to cover a historic snowstorm, they find themselves scrambling to figure out how to work together. Eager to be taken seriously as a journalist, Delilah offers Jackson a deal. If he can help her ace the assignment, she'll help him rediscover his long-lost fun side. With an unexplored chemistry burning beneath their clashes, the unlikely partnership quickly tumbles into an easy and surprising friendship. But when other feelings start to enter the equation, can Jackson and Delilah withstand the storm? Or does what happens in the mountains stay in the mountains? So as you can hear, there's going to be lots of banter. They really get on each other's nerves so far from what I've seen. I'm about halfway through. The beginning was a bit slow, but then it quickly picked up. I feel like this would be a perfect book to read outside while the kids are running around having fun, or poolside on a road trip. It's a really fun read. I'm excited to see what's in store for Delilah and Jackson. Oh, I just love it so much. This is definitely what I was needing after an eventful April month that really slowed down my reading, but it was definitely for a good cause. So this is my first pick of the month, and Now Back to You by B.K. Borson. The second book that I selected is actually a book that was bought for me in March by my best friend, Laura, for my birthday. And we always make a point to kind of go to the bookstores together, eat some lunch, have some mimosas, the whole 5 yards. Or is it 9 yards? The whole 9 yards. Yeah, the whole 9 yards. So one of the books that she bought me, amongst others, is Daddy Issues by Kate Goldbeck. And I have never read any other books by Kate Goldbeck. And I was just kind of, how you do at the bookstore, you're walking around, looking at the table displays. And I was walking, and this cover just really caught my attention. Just because I saw the guy in the cardigan, and I'm like, ooh, okay, love a guy in a cardigan. And then, look at that scene in the car. Like, something's definitely going to go down. She's, got another scene there where she's sitting next to a lamp, and that's kind of how my evenings typically go. I find myself next to a really cozy lamp in my pajamas with a really cozy blanket, and I'm either reading, editing videos, or I'm coloring, or trying to wind down after a long day with 4 kids. It's definitely needed to kind of reset my batteries. But oh my gosh, this cover just really caught my attention, and it's giving me like old school romance novel vibes. And it's pretty short read. I think it's about 330 pages, give or take. The summary is at 26, Sam Pulaski expected to be thriving in an exciting career, not stuck in her hometown, crashing with her mom. But when a single dad becomes her new neighbor and she finds herself attracted to his steady, settled life and quiet confidence, she realizes she might not know what she wants after all. So it's definitely an age gap trope. He's a dad. We love a good dad character because they're naturally going to be nurturing and in touch with their emotions, which we do love that. And I think we can all kind of identify that when you're in your 20s, and especially your late 20s, you really feel like you should have, your shit together. You should know, you should be either in the job that you're wanting, or you should be on track towards reaching those goals. And oftentimes when we're young, when we're in our teens, or we're a senior in high school, we have this plan set in mind, and we're like, this is going to be my plan, and I'm gonna, mark all these check boxes, and then I'll reach my goal. But if you're like me, or the majority of people, oftentimes life throws obstacles and curveballs, and you have to be flexible and you have to adjust, and sometimes your goals may take a little longer to reach, and that's okay. Everybody's on their own timeline. Not everybody's gonna accomplish things around the same time. So that's something that really captivated me about this book. I'm really excited to read it. This is my second pick of the month. My third pick of the month is, of course, the second book to the Red Rising series, which is Golden Son. Red Rising, if you've seen my YouTube with my reactions to Red Rising, it just took me for a fantastic ride. I was so happy that I finally read Red Rising. It had literally been on my shelf for years, and sometimes I wish I had read it sooner, but really I think I read it in the exact time I was meant to read it. And I'm really curious as to how the story is going to unfold now. Let's go ahead and see what the back says. He seeks justice to free his enslaved people. Darrow has infiltrated his world's brutal ruling class on a mission to destroy them. And though the only path to liberation is revolution, he must strive not for vengeance, but for a hopeful rebirth. He must live for more. Oh, goodness. Oh, it's going to be so good, guys. I'm so ready to jump into it. I can't start it just yet because I feel like once I jump in, it's just going to take over my whole existence, and I'm not going to want to do anything. So I'm definitely saving this one for when the kids are out of school, so closer towards the end of the month, and then I'm just going to go on a deep reading binge, and I'm just going to stay up late. I'm not going to have to wake up early. It's going to be fantastic, and I'm so ready for it, and I will definitely take you guys along for that ride. So these are 3 so far that I have. I have hopes to read a fourth book. I really want to watch the movie Project Hail Mary, but I don't want to watch it until I read the book. I really, 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 really want to read the book Project Hail Mary. I've heard wonderful things about it. And I have this rule that if a movie comes out and there's a book, I have to read the book first, just because oftentimes, as we all know, as readers, the book is way better than the movie. As much as they do well with the movies now, I feel like the book just gives us so much more insight into the characters' thoughts and feelings and what drives them. So I really want to squeeze in Project Hail Mary so that I can watch the movie. Those are my goals for May, is to read 4 books. I'm not going to be super hard on myself because I am a mother, I am a wife, I am a daughter. I'm always running around and I really love my family quality time. But I also love my books. So therein lies the dilemma, right? You have to find that balance, that healthy balance. But I'm really curious to know what you guys have planned to read for the month of May. It's always nice to see what other people gravitate towards and your reading goals and how you get to accomplish those goals. I also want to talk about, I'm not a huge movie watcher just because my time is so limited. Let me take a bit of a sip of my drink here. My throat's getting a little bit dry talking to you wonderful people. Tropical Vibes Celsius, if you haven't tried it, definitely give it a try. So I don't typically have time to watch movies. I much prefer to read a book versus watching a movie, or I prefer to do almost anything else. I used to be a huge movie watcher in my teens and my early 20s, but that's kind of shifted a bit. But my husband loves watching movies, and he's always watching trailers and telling me, hey, what do you think about this movie? Would you want to watch it? Sometimes it's a yes, I'll definitely watch that with you. Sometimes it's a, you can put it on, but I'm probably going to be reading as well while the movie is on, which isn't always the answer that he wants to hear. But I love movies about survival. Like if you put on a good survival movie, I'm hooked. I will definitely pay attention to it. And so this movie is called Apex Predator with Charlize Theron and Taron Egerton. And he's the same actor that came out in the thriller called Carry On, which is another movie that I really enjoyed and I really liked too, that kept me on the edge of my seat. But Apex Predator is on Netflix. If you have not seen it already, definitely pop in there and make you some popcorn, dim the lights, because it will keep you on the edge of your seats. And I think women especially should watch this movie because it talks about a woman that solo travels and that really enjoys doing adrenaline-inducing sports and activities, and just kind of the people that she bumps into while she is doing her solo traveling, and our expectations of what danger looks like versus what danger could look like. It's not always something that can fit into a box. So if you haven't seen it already, definitely watch Apex Predator. Trust me, coming from someone that doesn't watch that many movies and would much rather be doing anything else, I give it my stamp of approval. You have to watch that movie with your husband, with your boyfriend, with friends. It would make for a great, night in. Let's see here. So a movie that I actually watched as well is, I rewatched The Devil Wears Prada, the first one, because I absolutely love that movie. I also read the book. If you have not read the book, Devil Wears Prada, you should read it because it's got some slight differences. They did really well with the movie, but the book has some differences, which I think a lot of people are going to wish, like, man, why didn't they put that in the movie? But I rewatched The Devil Wears Prada. I'm hoping to watch the second one this weekend for Mother's Day weekend. Hoping to try to get away a little bit and kind of watch that. Let's see. I also, like I said earlier, I want to watch Project Hail Mary, but that one's going to be a little bit later because I want to read the book first. Some movies that I watched with my kids or that we watched as a family that are really funny and were really good are the following. We watched Gulliver's Travels, which is funny, and it has Jack Black in it, and you know Jack Black is just hilarious, and it was very kid-friendly. I have a 14-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 3-year-old going on 4. So we have a big range of ages that we have to kind of accommodate to when we do pick family movies. And to us, a family movie night is like the works. We dim down the lights, we get super cozy, we get all the blankets, we get in our cozy pajamas or leisure wear, and we have these little buckets and we fill them with snacks and candy and popcorn. And it's one of the times where I don't limit the kids on candy because I just really don't like them having too much sugar, too many sweets. But they know if it's movie night, they can have at it with the sweets. We also watch Zoolander with Ben Stiller, and that movie is hilarious. I used to hate it so much, and I cannot remember why, but I used to hate Zoolander with a passion. Sorry, Ben Stiller, but it just wasn't for me back then. But rewatching it with my kids was so much fun, and my husband actually loves that movie, and it's one of his favorite movies. Him and his brother quote it all the time. And I'm so happy. And it was actually my idea to put it on, which is crazy. It was so out of character for me to suggest watching Zoolander. But we put it on, and it was so funny to see what the kids thought was funny and just the overall outlandishness of the movie. It's one of those dumb, funny movies. So if you struggle with dumb, funny, definitely don't watch Zoolander. But if you like Ben Stiller, if you like... I always forget his name. Is it Owen Wilson? I believe it's Owen Wilson. Watch it. He also voices the animated character on what's that movie with the race cars? My kids are gonna kill me because Cars. The movie is Cars, I believe, and he voices one of the main characters, the race cars. So the kids really enjoyed that. And then another movie that we enjoy watching as a family is Holes, and Shia LaBeouf is one of the main characters in that movie, and we also have Sigourney Weaver in that movie. So a lot of really good actors. Holes is also a book, so if you have children between the ages of 8 and 14, I do suggest that they read that book because it's really good, and then they can follow it up with watching the movie, or watch the movie first and then read the book to see if it's very similar. So we love watching that. It's got lots of funny aspects, but also it has a bit of history that they can learn and see how history impacts families and how decisions made in the past by ancestors can affect present time families. I am a huge Disney cartoon, Disney movies fan. When my kids were younger, I had VHS players, and I had all the VHS Disney movies that my mom had bought for me when I was younger, and I made it a point to make sure that all my kids were introduced to all the original Disney movies before I allowed them to watch movies on the then streaming app Disney. And a lot of people were like, oh, you're so strict, why don't you let them watch the new movies? And I'm like, no, they need to appreciate the old movies first, right? And I'm so glad that I did that, because now my kids are familiar with all the original Disney movies, and they appreciate how all the movies evolved over time, and we have our favorites that we go back to. I ended up putting on Pocahontas. Pocahontas is one of my favorite Disney movies, and actually the second one, Pocahontas 2. If you didn't know there's a Pocahontas 2, please stop this video and go watch Pocahontas 2 because it's so good. And we have another main male character in Pocahontas 2, John Ralph, that is just perfection, gentleman through and through. You think you like John Smith until you meet John Ralph. So just putting that there for you to do with what you want. And we watched Pocahontas, and all my kids really enjoyed it, even my sons. My husband was like, oh, this is pretty interesting. I don't think he had ever seen Pocahontas before. So we all sat as a family and we watched it, the first one and the second one, of course, while tidying up and cleaning up the kitchen, which is my least favorite thing to do. after we have family dinner together. So I recommend Pocahontas 1 and 2. 2 is better. And then after that, everybody started kind of going their own way and starting to do their own things, as you know, children tend to do, especially in those ages, 12 and 14. So then I just put Mulan on, and Mulan is one of my other favorite Disney movies. But long story short, I'm a huge Disney fan. Let me know what Disney movies are your favorite, like the OG Disney movies, and let me know what newer Disney movies are your favorite. I would love to know which ones are your favorites. So yeah, that's kind of what's been going on for us. You know, end of April, beginning of May, lots of hustle and bustle, lots of trying to keep up with things. I actually made this little guy right here. Oh, he's so cute. Look at it, look at it. Oh. If you know more about me, I'm not a super patient person, so I've always struggled with making little Lego sets. But this is my first Lego set that I do by myself, and I'm so proud of it, and it's so cute. It's got little eggs in it. So I really enjoyed doing this. It took me longer than I think it was supposed to take me, but that's okay. The point is that I finished it and I didn't give up. So I'm definitely going to dive into trying to slow down and do some more little. So I'm definitely going to continue doing more little floral Lego sets, or just little cute things that I can put on my bookshelf. And just, you know, I'm trying to dive into that a little bit more because it really does help calm my mind. I'm an overthinker through and through. If I'm not doing something, my mind just kind of starts going. What hobbies are you guys into? Do you guys paint? Do you guys work out? That's one thing that I need to do more, is make more time to work out, because we all have time. We just have to make the time and prioritize, right? But we've definitely been chatting quite a bit. I love talking to you guys. If you guys enjoy my videos, you know, definitely hit that subscribe button and leave me a comment. I definitely want to, you know, I want the space to be more of a community where we can come together and just talk and keep it positive. And if you guys have any recommendations for me, do leave them below. You can also find me on Instagram. I have an email that you guys can reach me at. So just, you know, leave me a little hello, or let me know what types of videos you would like to see. If you have any questions for me, I'll be working on a get to know me video that I want to put up soon, so that you guys can get to know a little bit more about me. I hope you guys have a fantastic month. May is busy, but May is fun, and I'm super excited to see what you guys tell me you are going to read this month, or what hobbies you're, you know, trying, or that you've been doing for a while and really enjoy. So you guys have a fantastic month, like I said, and I look forward to hearing from you guys, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Love you guys so much.